Whatever you believe in, get your God in this fight. It has to be bigger than you. One attitude is to, say, good for them. I felt as if there was less. The process of actually cracking the shell themselves is necessary. Nature created it. If someone else is having massive success, you know why you should be so happy and clap? If you are someone who is a hard worker, you're smart, and you're not accomplishing what you're capable of, you know why? It's because you lack focus. FFL Haven Real Talk, talking about the power of teamwork and thinking ahead. And again, acting your way into feeling. If success is happening to someone else, one attitude is to, say, good for them. Here's another attitude. This is the attitude of abundance. If someone else is having massive success, you know why you should be so happy and clap? I'm talking loud. Get excited about it, because that means success is on your street. You guys ever had an Amazon package come into your house? You could see the package, his route, and you see, oh, he's down there. You're like, woo, you see your neighbor get it. You know what that means is you're next. That's what it means. So here's what I'm saying. The mentality of the group tells me where you are. If you're not like so dang excited about the people that are winning, I'm talking $1 AP. We have about 5 or 6, we have about 100 people in the group, but only about 5 applauses. Someone makes a sale, someone helps a family, 5 hearts. That's it. We got so many other people in here. Here's the reason you will take time to congratulate them, because you realize that it's going to be happening to you. If you act your way into feeling, then things just start happening. Now, you can say one of two things, mumbo jumbo, or you can look at facts and science and say that's legit, because the truth is you are literally repelling or acting or attracting the things that you want. So I'll get off that, but I want to encourage you to take time and think in abundance. The only people that think it's scarcity are the ones that, and this is a little note for yourself. Here's how you kind of gauge whether you're growing or not. When someone is having success, are you getting excited about their success, or do you think in terms of, man, that means if they're selling that, there's less for me? Where are you? And I'll be honest with you, when I was newer and in life, when someone would be on, having success, even on stage, when I saw people getting applauded, instead of me being so excited for them, I was actually, I was glad, but I was like, oh, I was like, womp, womp, womp. I felt as if there was less, meaning I couldn't go accomplish that. But what if the possibility existed that what they could accomplish, there was enough for everybody to accomplish? They just did it. That means if they can do it, you can do it too. They went and found the golden source of water, the buffalo. Going back in the days where we were hunter-gatherers, that means there's a lot for everybody. So I'm just saying that the way you respond in those small things is called microcosms. It's indicative of your personal growth. And again, we know this game, it's about this. So if you're looking for a litmus test, if you will, of where you are mentally, there is a litmus test. Do you take your time to congratulate someone, right? And if you don't, and how do you feel when they're doing well? Or are you more focused on yourself and just, well, I guess I didn't do it. The truth is, the reason you didn't do it is because of that very thing. So again, today's topic is how to avoid being intelligently stupid. I know it sounds like an oxymoron, because it almost really is. Here's what that means. Intelligently stupid is you're so smart, you're dumb. I know it sounds like a repetitious. You're so smart, almost too smart for your own good. You ever had someone who was so good at what they do, yet they didn't see the basic things? They were almost what they call having analysis paralysis, overthinking something simple because of the multiple myriad of possibilities. Don't be that person. Now, as I continue, let me ask you this question. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I encourage you, as we're going through this, please jot this on the chat. I know this format is just me with the video, but the goal is on the chat, hey, we're throwing questions down. Hey, be interactive because it makes all the difference. On the chat, you'll hear and see the people who have been engaged in the field, because those who have not been engaged in the field, they will have nothing to, ask, nothing to bring to the table. So my question to you is, what question are you bringing to the table? What question do you want answered? What's troubling you? What's something that you've engaged in because you've done some activity knowledge? Now the student can come back and say, you know what? I'm ready for some learning knowledge. And if you're ready for some learning knowledge, it'll come to you, and it'll come to you here. Because truth is, if you don't know where you're going, then it doesn't matter what directions you get. It sounds kind of crazy, right? Why would you even ask for directions if you have no idea? You're just cool with it. So you should be in some process where you're asking for some certain kind of direction. Now, I'm asking you this question and saying this because here's the truth. No matter what you do, the price of excellence, the price of excellence is intensity. The price of excellence is intensity. Think of a muscle. You guys have seen people working out. There's a certain amount that's required to lift. You guys ever seen people that worked out, they've had certain reps, and they're like this? They need a certain level of intensity, right, in order to be able to overcome it. So whatever it is, the question you have that you're looking to accomplish, there's a certain level of intensity either that you are lacking, and the hope is that you'll get it here somewhere. Now, how do you get the intensity? Again, I'm going back to how to avoid being intelligently stupid. Clarity comes from having a plan. You got to have a plan. And of course, when you have a plan, you get some clarity. And then when you get clarity, you get focus. What is another word for focus? It's intensity, meaning there's a certain amount of effort you can put in. And when you're having trouble I'll say it this way. I remember I went to this seminar. I was in California. I think we had like 5 kids at the time. And in California, man, it's expensive. And I felt broke. What I was making, maybe if I was, single, or maybe if I was just me and my wife, maybe if I only had maybe 1 kid, I would have been okay. But man, I always felt broke because I was not only helping myself, but my family and my kids. And I'm like, man, I should be able to do more. And here's what I was told, and it's true. If you are someone who is a hard worker, you're smart, and you're not accomplishing what you're capable of, you know why? It's because you lack focus. That's it. You lack focus. And I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you lack focus. And how do you get focus? You got to get some clarity. If you get clarity, it's game over. Did you know that a cheetah, cheetah from the jungle, their success rate, their closing rate, meaning when they go out to get prey, it's only 60%. Did you know that? So, 4 times out of the 10, they don't get their prey. They get their teeth kicked in, they lose them after all that running. But the intensity is what makes the difference for it to happen. So just keep that in mind as time goes on. I'm gonna go over a couple different topics as we go through, but intelligently stupid, how do you avoid it? Well, one of the things is to start this business properly. I'm going to give you a couple of how-tos when it comes to this business. Now, we're going into a new age I'm talking this IMO, where you have to actually have skills. You're going to learn the basics, but I want you to be very, very clear. To create clarity, the way you start this business is not going to be the way you finish. It should not be the same. So the way you start, and this is moving forward, if you're a brand new agent, you should have a policy on yourself, period. Because that's pretty weird that you're promoting life insurance as the most important thing ever, and you don't have it in yourself. So step 1, get some on yourself. And then step 2, what is easier, talking to strangers or someone you know? Someone you know, obviously. So here's what we're going to do. We are a lead-based system, right? That's our IMO. Every other IMO out there, the only thing that they can do is just go hunt their friends and family. Hunt maybe someone that's a stranger that's, in a gas station, in a mall, some random wahoo. But you know what makes us unique is we have the solution. We have leads. But here's what's cool. When you start this business, you can actually maximize your network. So again, get one of yourself. Step 2, within the first week, you need to go sell and at least present to the people that you know, like, love, and trust. If you can't sell the people you know, like, love, and trust, I'm talking, there's something wrong. Either you lack belief in yourself, belief in your company, belief in your leadership, or belief in your product. That is the only reason. And if you truly lack any of those things, you're going to struggle to with the strangers, right? So when we look at people that say, hey, these leads or whatever else, or they're having trouble, it is because that problem existed in the beginning. It had nothing to do with the leads. It was them. Now, you make a list of the people you know, like, love, and trust. And again, it doesn't have to be weird. We will train you how to be a professional. We have a professional business card. All we're simply looking to do is just put them in a better position. I had a client this morning I overheard we were talking to, or at least Vernon was trying to book an appointment. The client said, hey, my so-and-so is a life insurance agent. And hey, I'm about loyalty. If anyone in my family does something, I'm going to go there. That's how it should be. Now, whether he was lying or not, who knows? But that's how it should be. The people that you know, like, love, and trust, if they truly know, like, love, and trust you, they should at least give you a shot. And all you're simply going to do is just do that. And the truth is, come on, guys, you are going to help with the funds that you make. I mean, granted, there's some people you're related to, but hey, let's say it's your mom, your dad. Your dad has a brother, right? Your dad has a friend, best friend. You can get out of the people that are related to you very, very fast. You have a best friend, so forth and so on. Truth be told is this work, we have gotten away from it. Here's the goal of this. I'm going back to clarity. You learn how to win by winning. You don't learn how to win by losing. So how do we help you get a win? So if there's any confusion, the basic skills we're trying to gather is confidence, right? As long as you have those four, you believe in the company, you believe in the product, you believe in your leadership, right? And you believe in yourself somewhat enough to go take a test, study, pay some money to the state, get your exam, all that stuff. You believe in yourself. If you're here, you believe in yourself. You did something. So now go employ it, generate some cash flow. You won, you helped protect the family. Now you use that to build some momentum. Now you can, hey, either continue that train ride, or you then, if that rainbow runs out, now you got leads. Now you can invest that cash into leads and start moving forward. That's the beautiful thing. But at this point, you're not starting from zero, because now you're starting from experience. Now you got some cash to put into it. And of course, the rest is history. So again, going back to clarity, the number one reason that people don't do anything is because, of course, they're either scared that they're going to fail, right? And here's the opportunity to be able to do it. Now, a couple of rules, by the way, as we move forward, the goal of this is to give you clarity. If you're brand new, you have to go jump in the pool. When I was new, here's how a couple of things were. They didn't do ride-alongs, meaning someone would ride along with you and go to the house in the beginning. You will do a ride-along once you've done it yourself. Now, oftentimes there are certain jobs where you go see it, that you got to see it to do it. But man, you've seen so many videos. That's what the training was for. If you're here, you've seen enough training to know what to do. So you're not oblivious. Now it's time to go do it. Now, here's what I noticed. For those that are leaders that will be building, or those that are new and you're wondering, I would love it if someone kind of went with me. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Just trust me on this. The people who chose not to go dial themselves, not to go out first themselves and get punched in the face, or just go out and do a free presentation themselves first. They opted first, like they demanded that they had to go with someone first. They always lost. Like, listen, I thought, you know what? They sold me. You know what? Maybe I should do it. I took them out, and some of them were sharp. They were gone. And so I want to make sure you understand, we are going to hold this line like the phalanx, like the Romans did. It's for you, because if we let you win, you'll lose. I'll give you this example. Did you know that there was, baby chickens, or I think birds, when they're getting out of their shell, they actually have to peck their way out, right? So there was this story. These people are observing these baby chickens being born, or chickens or birds, and a lot of them get out of their shell, but this one is having trouble getting out the shell. They're pecking, and they keep pecking. They're having trouble getting out. So the observer decides, you know what, let me go and help this. They actually crack open the shell, basically relieving the baby of the work of opening it. Baby gets out, everything looks good. But you know what happened? The baby died the next couple of days, maybe the next couple of hours, but the baby died. And you know what they discovered is the process of actually cracking the shell themselves is necessary. Nature created it because that process gets their muscles moving and gives them sufficient power to sustain themselves in the first few days of their life. So when someone robbed them of that opportunity, they robbed them of their own life. That's one of the reasons we do these things for you. So keep that in mind as you go through. All right, I'm going to go to a couple of how-tos. And again, please throw some, if you have any questions, we'll throw something in the chat. Now, when it comes to the things that are required as a new agent, and again, we're going on clarity. Clarity is what's going to allow you to avoid being stupid, being intelligent as all get out, but making stupid mistakes. And there's a book out there that, this kind of came from. It's called How Smart People Make Dumb Money-Making Mistakes. I'm talking smart. You guys have seen it, right? And it comes from clarity. So when it comes to the process of this business, you'll start that way. You'll start generating some income. The process is when you get leads, when you go into leads, or even if you don't get leads, the people you know, like, and trust, you have to make it your modus operandi. You have to get good at getting referrals. We've talked about it. I'm going to hit it again. You're done. Here's what it's going to sound like. Did I answer your questions today, Bill? Yeah, perfect. Are you comfortable with the monthly premium? Are you comfortable with the coverage you have? And most important, are you comfortable with me being your agent for life? Yes. And just so I can be clear, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most likely, how likely are you to refer me to your friends, family, and neighbors? 10? Okay, perfect. Here, I'm gonna have you do this. I'm gonna send you this form. Just have a few lines. If you can go and fill it out, just gives you the opportunity for me to help the people that you know, like, and trust. And I can either, help them if they have nothing, or I might be able to help them if they have something, put them in a better position where maybe they're paying X, but they'll be able to get more, or they're paying X, but they'll pay less for the same that they got. Make sense? It'll be weird if they said that they would refer you as a 10, but they don't refer you. And everyone knows somebody. That's how you know how well you did. If they don't refer you, you didn't do as well as you think you did. Period. That's just the bottom line. Listen, facts tell, right? I just the numbers tell the story. The goal is to get so many referrals that you don't even have to buy leads, right? You get so many referrals that it just comes to you. I want to be very clear. That is the goal, is to become a professional. You're able to just help them in every facet of this business. So you buy leads to allow you enough opportunities while you work on your process. Work on your process. Helping families. And here are the numbers. If you get 5 referrals from every client, that's 25, right? So you have 5 clients, 25. It's a 30% closing ratio. I'm going to do the math on the computer so I don't look cray-cray. So you'll close about, let's just say 8 people. Out of 25 referrals, you'll close 8. It's just the numbers. I'm not telling you, this is not like bull honking. This is legit. Now, of course, you get 5 from every one of those that you close. It continues. And here's what's going to happen. As you grow in this business, structure will be your key of whether you're able to scale it or whether you plateau. Because the truth is, here's what's going to happen. If you're simply dialing, buying, running, what's going to happen is time is finite. There's only so much you can do in business. There's a certain concept where it's like the cost benefit analysis. Like businesses know about investing. So what happens is they get to this point and they think, hey, if we invest more, we'll get to this point. No. It's weird. There's this concept where if you invest more, you actually start losing money. It's just this crazy concept. So they try to find that perfect balance of investing just enough so that they don't lose out. What I'm saying is you get this finite of time, meaning if all you're doing is doing 40 grand, 50 grand a month, that's all you can do. Meaning if you're locked in time, then you can't do anymore. How do you compress time? Well, people love buying from people that they know, like, and trust. That's how you compress time. That's how you lower the time it takes to book appointments. You see what I'm saying? You're buying your time back now. Why do you need time? Well, if you're interested in this business and doing more than just selling, you're interested in having a business that kicks off cash flow to you for the rest of your life, whether you're working or not, because this is a great, not only business, great opportunity, great product to help people. Well, you're going to need time to help develop those agents. If you want to build, you got to start thinking now, how can I get time? Well, there's a couple of ways. As time goes on, you eventually get better at selling in less time. So someone like me, I can help 15, 20 families in 3 days. And like Sean Mike would do, I don't know, 50, 60 in a few days. And he would spend Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday going out and recruiting. That's one way you can compress time. You get better you're able to do more with less. Another way that some people are doing it to do a hack is they're doing, not only virtual sales, they're doing live transfers, that they're compressing time so that they can have time to do other things. One of the best ways to compress time that is so profitable, where more than profitable, you must do this because it does a lot of things. It helps you with time, but also, man, the persistency is off the charts. The people that you know, like, and trust, or referrals from those folks, it's off the charts. Meaning the business that stays is the business that pays. That's why there's just so many facets. So I want to be very, very clear. Yes, we're in the leads business, but to be a professional, you have to sharpen certain skills that you may not have already. And that skill is being good enough to almost demand the referrals of someone. Like I helped you, I put you in such a great position that, I mean, you would feel, the person feels almost indebted to you. So I get it. It's something that you ask. Some of you have done it before where you don't get anything. That's a reflection of your service, right? What could you have done differently that would have made the difference? And that's questions you got to ask yourself as you go through. But that is the key, y'all, because if you start getting that, then it's game over, right? You start, and that's where you can start. Again, if you started this business today and you follow that concept, does it matter whether you don't have any money? It doesn't, because you can start with your network and go out and go generate some, and then you can go ahead and invest in business. Guys, it's not the money in your pocket. There's two things you have to always have at work. And again, we're talking about clarity. I keep using that word on purpose. The goal is, the mother of all skills, repetition. Listen, you either have money working for you or you have people working for you. I'm going to give you a concept that's going to blow your mind. All right. I know this is being recorded, so I'm going to say this very, very carefully. If I have Rose as a client and Rose gives me a few referrals. Now, by law, obviously, we can't rebate anyone to buy life insurance, but we can give kudos. Rose now becomes my person. Rose sends me 5 referrals. I get 5. I say, hey, Rose, great job. And you can legally send them kudos. Now, it doesn't matter what the kudos is. You decide to make sure you're within the limits of the law, right? Now, the cool thing is Rose necessarily didn't expect that, but it was at least significant enough for Rose to say, now Rose is always looking. You know what people love? People love having a guy. Hey, do you know anyone that does this? Oh, I got a guy. Everyone loves to be the solution of someone's problem. Everyone loves having a guy. What if you were the guy, the gal for everyone anyone knew? And of course, because of that, they're just referring you left and right. So again, you either have money working for you where you go buy clients, but man, wouldn't it be awesome to have people working for you, giving you referrals left and right? Because these same people that are filling out forms, I guarantee you, and this is a fact, the people that you just sold, the people that you just sold, one of the leads you purchased, they know each other between 7 degrees. It's called 7 degree separation. So every resource you need right now, money, time, a car, a truck, I don't care what it is, it's within 7 degrees of someone that you know right now. Some of you don't believe me, but if you don't believe me, let me ask you this. How well is your current philosophy working right now? See, that's why Tony Robbins says, you know the most important resource you got to have as a new agent? It's called resourcefulness. Like, you got to be good at networking, getting into people, because every resource you need is there. Hence the reason we got billionaires that are kids. When they have these ideas, they didn't have the money to fund it, but they had the resourcefulness to talk to this person, and this person knew this person. I'm getting at the fact is that, guys, this is how it works. If you're confused that that's the way and that's what we're supposed to be going for, you're supposed to be becoming someone of that caliber, then let me be the one to correct it and give you some clarity. That is exactly what we're doing. And here's what we know. People are intelligently dumb, stupid, because they lack clarity. And when you lack clarity, here's what we know. A confused mind does nothing, or a confused mind does less. Now, if you have ever been confused, you can't see the future, you have less oomph to do things, it's simply because you lack clarity. But here's what we know. Even if you lack clarity, doing is way more important than just sitting and trying to think about it. Because sometimes in the process of doing, you'll figure it out. But if you have someone that can help you, please, you should be doing both. I'm hoping this is helping. If this is helping somebody, please drop a one in the chat, please. So that's the case. So second thing, for those that are actually in the process of booking appointments, if you're booking appointments, here's what I'm going to tell you. I know in-home is, or telesales is great, but I want to be very, very clear. Telesales is a virtue, it's a luxury. So in-home is how you start. If you want to work your way up, garner the skills that are required for you to become an assassin, which is telesales, then you can do that. But in-home is how you start. Because what job do you know where you get the job and they give you the keys to the kingdom day one? No, it doesn't work that way, right? I mean, most jobs before COVID, if you wanted to work from home, you had to earn the right. Most jobs, if you want to take a couple of extra days off, you had to earn the right. Here's what I'm saying. So many of us, and I'm being real, being honest, the reason we are doing virtual sales is because, I want to say it, we're scared. Because somehow we think it's easier, that it's like the solution to our problem. No, it isn't. If that was like, honestly, like your jam, maybe. But at the end of the day, if the goal is profitability, then the answer is there. So some of us that are doing virtual, we should be going in home. That's just the facts. I'll give an example. Hey, if you were going to cook, if you were going to eat, what's the best way to, what's the cheapest way, most effective, I guess, is to make the food yourself, right? That's the cheapest way to do it. Buy the ingredients and cook it yourself, and it's right there. But hey, if you got the cash, DoorDash it. Come on now, right? Order it out. But you all know, if some of you have done it, you order all the time. I mean, you look at your bank statement, man, you're like, wow, I order that much? It's expensive. Telesales is expensive. And so when you go into this game, one of the things that we want to do as a brand new agent, we suggest that you should really understand. I want to educate expectations. You better have the cash flow that's double, be able to sustain yourself, because it's a harder learning curve. You got to know your stuff. And the best thing I can suggest, and this is how it was beforehand, is you ran 100 appointments, 50 to 100 appointments in home. Then once you got the computer down, the apps down, you got, what clients kind of say, you can transition that elsewhere if you want to. But the goal is for you to win, not to get punched in the face and just lose, because no one wins that way. If you keep losing, the human mind will never continue something it doesn't think it can finish. Fair enough? Okay. So when you're booking in-home appointments, here's a hack. You need 25 points when you're going for the next couple of days. Structure is you have 2 booking days, meaning 2 days that you go dial, Mondays and Thursdays. You book for the next 2, let's say if today was Thursday, you're booking for Friday and Saturday. All the appointments that you run that day need to add up to 25, right? So you need at least, if you want to make it perfect, you need at least 5 appointments that day. Well, what I mean by that is, what if you book 9 appointments that day and they're all ones? You're bound for failure. What's a 5? A 5 is someone who knows you're coming, right? You did the tie downs, but the fact is they know you're coming and you gather some, basics on them, right? That's a 5. A 1 is someone like you just, I'm just dropping it off. That's a 1. So again, if you want to win, I'm telling you, if you at least have 25 points in your run day, it's game over. And just to educate expectations, it's a 20 to 30% no-show rate. And then you'll sell half of what you sit on average. Those are just the facts. Okay. So keep that in mind, 25 points. And I'll just say this last thing, and then we'll open up for any questions if we have any. So here's the fact. If you're in a rut, what is that exactly? And I'm talking about being intelligently stupid. Somehow you got stuck and you can't move. And here's some signs that you're intelligently stupid. You get things pretty well. I mean, you've grasped a lot of different things in your life, but man, you're having trouble grasping the concept of maybe telesales. You're having trouble grasping the concept of, what do I do again? Like, it should be so clear. Like we're saying, just walk over there and tell us when you're done. Like, it's that simple. Just buy the leads and call them. You're going to say the script. It's that simple. But if you're somehow struggling with that, there's something that's keeping you. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Normally it's because you're in a rut. What is a rut? A rut is, if you guys know cars, right? You get in kind of a little groove where your tires are stuck. And here's the equivalent of a rut in your life. A rut is, in life, you are paid in proportion to the problems that you can solve. So the higher the solution, of course, if you solve a problem, you move forward. Here's the truth. When we're praying for things, we get bigger problems. We're praying to grow. All these things, we're praying, I want to be a millionaire. I want all this. All you're praying for is more problems. Now, that's a good thing. Problems usually have a negative connotation. But in order to be able to get more, you must solve bigger problems. But in order for you to solve bigger problems, you must be bigger than the problem. And what happens is, if you go to a situation where you are not bigger than the problem, you get stuck until you are bigger than the problem. That's what a rut is. So when it comes to whatever you're doing, you're just simply stuck because you're here. Something is here. It's not clear. Once you escape the problem, then the rest is history. So just think about that. When it comes to ruts, it isn't the situation. It's somehow you, meaning you should have been doing, remember the Haven 12, and I'm hoping some of you are scoring yourself every week. Our week goes from Thursday to Wednesday. I hope you scored yourself of the 12 commitments and what percentage of success did you have in succeeding. So you should have scored yourself. Now, part of those 12 is you should be growing every day. Why? Well, you need to be growing in preparation for the problem that's coming. If someone didn't tell you, it's coming. They're coming for you. If you're hoping to be a top producer, I did a little YouTube video with someone, and I hope that some of you will watch it. I asked some of these, with the special guest speaker, was Marissa. I said, what kind of problems can a 5K producer expect to get? What about a 10K producer? What about someone who's doing 20 families a month, 30, 40? I asked them, what kind of problems, like landmarks, what do you see when you get to New York? Oh, you'll see this and that. So when you hit those certain problems, that's the amount of money you're making. So when you're doing your personal development, y'all, the whole purpose is to prepare you for the problem coming. If you fall, quit, you get down, if you don't move forward, you weren't prepared, meaning you didn't grow fast enough. And who's that on? It's on you. Now, you were told, and so that's what I'm being clear on. These things are optional to do, those 12 things. But are they really? Because success isn't optional either. Like, those things are hard to do and hard to, they're easy to do, easy not to do. I get it. But what's easier? Or is it easier to not do them or easier to be broke? To me, so those problems, if you're encountering them and you're not overcoming them, it's simply you're not growing fast enough. It isn't so much you're not going fast enough on the how-tos, it's you're not growing fast enough on the processor. I'm gonna give you one example, and I'll just jump from this topic. If you get a computer in 2015, they develop new programs, games, whatever. Isn't it funny how they say there's minimum requirements for that program to work properly? And sometimes they say, well, a minimum of 2015 programming, CPU, blah, blah, blah. But when you have 2015 programming, it goes a little slower. In order for the program to go faster and be efficient and be just buzzing, you got to upgrade the OS, the CPU. So again, look back at yourself, look back at the problems, get with the leadership, and I guarantee you, whatever rut you're in, it's not the rut, it's you, period. Last thing, and then again, we'll close, is this. This business has to be bigger than you. So when you get in this business, if you're brand new, just a little advice. I'll say this very clearly. You need to get your God in this fight. Allah, whatever you believe in, get your God in this fight. It has to be bigger than you. Does your God desire that you win? Seek his good graces. And I'll be transparent. I know I'm in the right place at the right time. This is what God wants me to do. He wants me to help you win, whoever else I'm supposed to work with. So last year, you guys, if you go back to my Facebook, it was like everyone was doing New Year's resolutions. I'm not about that. But I was thinking, how can I make this year different than last year? And I heard someone say that they said a prayer to God, and they said, God, I would like you to do something in my business that's so big that everyone will know that you did it. I thought about that, man. I mean, that's awesome. So, I want to do that. I thought about what can I do? As I'm meditating on this fact, what came to my mind? I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do right. It came to my mind that this will be the year. My God is in this fight with me. But in order for him to make it so big that when it grows, people know it was God, that he's going to do what they call it. It's going to be a Gideon effect. And some of you can go on Facebook, you'll see it. And if you remember the story of Gideon, it was 300 defeated thousands. And first it was a big army. And, God said, hey, Gideon, tell the people who go to the water, hey, if they, bend down with their lips and drink, take them out. If they're scared, he had this process of elimination, right, as he went through. So when I first heard that, and there was a revelation for me, I was like, wow. So, and this is my interpretation, and I'm getting somewhere with this, so stick with me. I'm like, okay, so God's going to get scrubs, and he's going to turn them into warriors. Okay. And you know what happened? Because of my misinterpretation, I took anybody, time wasters, people who had no direction and didn't want direction. They were not humble. They had no character. And my idea was God was going to make the change. And here's what's cool about it. God let me go that path and I learned the right way. That's not what he meant. And I'm saying this for a reason. Here's what happened. If you read the story of Gideon, God had some filters too. He said, if you're scared, get out. Don't come. You're on that line. If this has happened, get out. And he went through little by little up until he got the 300. But who found the 300? He did. They were all in that mix. And when that miracle was performed, it was game over. What I'm sharing with you is this business will have to be bigger than you. Because believe it or not, no matter where you are, I guarantee you, if you stick around, you're going to get to a point where, you're helping 20, 30, 40 families. And again, just to be clear, it's about $1,000 per family. You're doing 5, 10 grand a week, 20 grand a week, like no problem. Like it's like clockwork because your leads are flowing, you planted, you've done the referral, all these things are flowing. You know what's going to happen though is you're going to get bored because that's just what happens. It happens to the movie stars. You've seen them, they get all of these accolades, then they take their lives. And so many of these stars, what do? These people that hit these great accomplishments, they then want to give back. What do they say? I wanted to go to a cause that was bigger than me because the human body, I think we were developed to serve other people. And so why not just start from the beginning to end in mind? Start now. It's going to have to be bigger than you. What do you really want? Here's how you find a way for it to be bigger than you. If you were already generating the income that you're going to be generating, you were already, doing 500 grand a year, you had a massive team, what would you do with your time? When you woke up, what would you do? Where would you travel? How would you serve? Who would you spend your time with? What organizations would you give? That's how you think bigger than you, right? Who would you bless? Because you're taken care of. You see the mindset of abundance, and we talk about scarcity and abundance, right? That's why we clap. That's why we go in the daily wins, and we at least give a heart, a great job or something. It's the abundance mentality. That's how you start to make this bigger than you. Because if it's all about you, you're going to fail. Because normally, you may not believe in yourself enough for it to be about you to push. Some of us, we believe in ourselves where being about us does make a difference, so we can push. But if you're in that fork in the road where you're kind of weak because of maybe circumstances, if it's only about you, that could be your detriment. Make it bigger than you. Get your God in this fight. Ask his graces and find out if you succeeded, what would he want you to do? And once you find that answer, it's game over. So guys, that's it. That's it. So I'm going to just recap. I want you to be very, very clear. Avoid being intelligently stupid by gaining clarity. How do you get clarity? You look at the basics. What do we do here? In essence, of course, we start with the folks we know. We help those people. And if we're having trouble, connecting with those people, well, we identify that. Well, it's because, you'll get some help from your leadership of how to approach them, right? It's pretty simple, but you'll identify that, what is it? Is it the lack of knowledge of the product? Is it the company belief? Is it my leadership that I lack belief in? Identify that early on and begin working on it. Be a doctor for yourself. That's clarity. Once you go through there, of course, you sell yourself one. Then you've exhausted that. You get in the lead game. And what do we do in essence? We buy leads. We dial leads. We run appointments. How much simpler can it get? We're just simply looking for the people looking for us. We say the script, and the ones won't. It's that simple. It's a law of thirds. Third will say yes no matter what. Third will say no no matter what. Third will say yes or no, depending on your skill level. But because of the business you're in, the company you're with, the third that say yes no matter what, that's sufficient for you to do very, very well. So the only difference between you and someone who does not do well is your ability to stick and stay and just be consistent. A lot of people come and go in this business. The only ones that come and stay are the ones that are committed to a level of personal development, personal growth. Okay, so that's simple. Clarity. You got to make sure that you are growing faster than your business is growing. Because again, if you want to do more, if you don't do more, you'll get bored. That's what signs. If you're like, man, you stop growing fast enough. Grow faster, because if you're stuck in a rut, you don't want to do this, you stop growing. So find 10 pages of a good book, 15 minutes of a good audio on a daily basis. Get with the mastermind. Here's a good litmus test. Again, I'm recapping. Are you in a method of abundance? Are you searching for someone to give kudos to? Or do you just do it when it happens? Literally, if you know what I'm talking about right now, that this is one of the litmus tests of your growth, you will literally put the notifications on your phone and make sure when you see that little ding and it's daily wins, you will go say, great job, put a heart, because you're seeking beyond yourself, because that is what it takes. Here's another thing. How often do you go in the middle of the day when you see someone, give them a compliment? You're not benefited by that. They are, hey, that's great shoes today. Abundance. Again, just giving you small nuggets of just landmarks to know where you are. Those are the people that stay, that come and stay. They're growing because in order for them to live, they got to give. They got to give. They got to give. They got to give. Go through, you'll get better at the referral game. And of course, as time goes on, your team gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And last but not least, or the first thing you should do is get your God in this fight. He wants you to win. Are you doing the right thing? Right? If you know you're doing the wrong thing, go repent. Come on now. This ain't church, but it is. Like, get your God in this fight. It has to be bigger than you. If it's not your God, it's the universe. Find something that will, I'll say it this way, find something that will make a difference and you will not receive any kudos. And if you can do that, that's how you know it's bigger than you. So guys, there's no question. That said, hey, take care, take charge. Next week, we will have a guest speaker that's going to pour into us. Until then, guys, you know how to get a hold of me. We'll see you in the big room. Oh, before I forget, last thing, FFL home office, make sure that you're plugging in. That is where we coach. That is where we train. That's where we do everything. We're creating I'm talking a tsunami of momentum. We got the best of the best. I'm talking people that have helped over 600, 700 families a year are going to be plugging into this thing. You guys have been seeing more and more people pop up. There's some people that are integrity partners in there now. We are pooling, but this is like the all-star team. So we're going to be making sure on Mondays and Thursdays, there will be certain slots and you're going to be hearing these people make dials. Now, in between time, you're doing your own thing, but the goal is for you to be around the right people all the time. And so you'll see more and more happen. The goal is, as time goes on, we know people that are running in-home, they're going Tuesday and Wednesdays. So during Tuesday and Wednesdays or Friday and Saturdays, it'll be a little bit lighter. But for those that are running telesales, hey, we're going to eventually get something going there as well. But at least Mondays and Thursdays, without fail, you got to plug in. So make sure that you're there, guys. Until then, take care, take charge. We'll see you next week. And actually, we'll see you in the big room. Bye for now.